MLS. Trend started by Clint Dempsey this time last year. Michael Bradley. And as you mentioned, Maurice Edu, Michael Parkhurst as well.
Yeah.
Albeit players who didn't make the final World Cup squad, but they were definitely part of the picture, weren't they?
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting, especially with the collective bargaining agreement coming up on January 1st and how that changes the salary cap, the roster rules. So many things could happen over the course of the next 7 to 8 months.
Davale. Nice little change of approach from the free kick, the run from Biela. All it earns is a corner, but good enterprise again shown from the set piece. Sporting Kansas City not doing what you would just normally expect. Oh, Willie Caballero, did he get a touch? Yes, he did. It'll be another corner. Played Malaga with Martin Di Michaelis, who's on his way back to City. Comfortable work this time for Willie, but Medranda has burst through, and that was what Peter Vermees was getting so excited about seeing. Jimmy Medranda turning very little into something very positive.
He does a great job with settling that ball with a positive first touch and a quick burst forward. Sets himself up, kind of just pokes it around Navas, and then that touch forward, he gets wide eyes. You can see Claudio Bieler, top of the 6-yard box. Got caught in between, putting it back across the top of the 6 and trying to find far post side net.
Signed on loan initially from Deportivo Pereira, the Colombian side. That move was made permanent back in February. Spent time with Jimmy Nielsen's side, the Oklahoma City Energy, on loan. Caballero's clearance sailing into touch. ESPN FC is the place for comprehensive coverage of all the football from around the world. Get the latest news, stats and info on your favourite teams and players. Always a fruity discussion on ESPN FC. Tomorrow at 6 on ESPN News, and also live on the Watch ESPN app. Dan Thomas, Max Bredos and the whole crew in the studio. 6 p.m. every weeknight. Essential viewing. Another fantastic night in the cauldron. Sporting Kansas City fans. And again, you think back to where we were in the city just 4 or 5 years ago. The latest stat being announced earlier today with the National Training Center plans unveiled.
But Adrian, when you really break it down, Sporting Kansas City's story of what they've done with this franchise and the history of Major League Soccer in this city, it has set the bar in a way that very few have been able to replicate, of a rebrand, building a soccer-specific stadium, and recapturing a demographic and the imagination of a fan base.
So Fernando makes way. You'll be seeing plenty more of him in this English Premier League season to come, the 26-year-old. With all that European experience with Porto, will be very much in the mix. The players he'll be perhaps competing with for spots. Javi Garcia is replacing him. Javi Garcia into the start of his 3rd season with Manchester City. And here's John Guidetti as well coming on. Guidetti, the Swedish international, still only 22. City signed him as a 16-year-old, and again he's been loaned out to many different spots.
He's an interesting story too. Growing up in Sweden and going with his parents down to Kenya for 6 years, and then coming back to Stockholm and